Good morning and welcome to our, I've got the wrong banner on looking at this. Welcome to our uplifting conversations this week, and I would like to welcome the lovely Jess Miller this week, and we're going to be talking all about looking after yourself, recharging, revitalizing, rejuvenating, and making sure that we are doing our best to inspire you to step up into life and do what we need to do to make sure that we are looking after ourselves. Now, I am just trying to find the background. I had forgotten about this. Well, let's go with this one. So today is, here it is a Monday morning, but you may be watching me or listening to me on Mint Radio or on the podcast. So some people may be tuning in live. Other people may be tuning in at a later date on the replay. But we would love you to come and find us. We have a group on Facebook called Kay's Essential Oil Wisdom. My website is just simply kayhamilton.com with no E. And we love creating community. Jess and I have known each other, is it that long? 2 years?
I think it's been over 2 years. Yeah, definitely. It's maybe 2.5 years or something.
It could well be. I've lost track. But since we've known each other, we've become great friends, and we have a mutual love of everything and anything young living, and that is because it has made such a difference in our lives. And so welcome, Jess.
Thank you. Good morning. I actually have been a little bit preoccupied this morning because I can sort of it's really interesting. Like I was on TikTok, and it was people that were talking about their mental health, which was really interesting. And I asked them if they were doing anything about their gut health. And they thought I meant like amoxicillin, so like antibiotics. And I'm going, no, like I'm talking like about your gut health, like good probiotics. And because a lot of the time your mental health is correlated to your gut health, which is, all on that good, healthy eating and, the young living and stuff like that. And I thought that was really interesting. They didn't even know what good gut health was.
Oh, well, that's great that you are talking about things like that. Interesting that you bring that up, because years ago I was not very well, going through a bit of a healing crisis myself. And I went to a naturopath, and she gave me some things to clean. It was all in my intestines needed cleaning out. This is way before I got into young living and more seriously into my journey of looking after. Well, I thought I was looking after myself, put it that way. But anyway, long story short, this lovely lady had been put into a mental institution or hospital or something like that, and because of whatever state she was in, she must have been a total mess. But the thing was that they wanted to give her all these medications, and she actually stopped taking those. She was flushing them down the toilet and started getting onto nutrition, and that totally turned her life around. Now, I'm not here to say to people, drop your medication and go down this track, but I think people need to do some homework. And if you are looking at, your health and wellness, is more than just taking a pill that might just keep you maybe balanced or steady, or might not. But if you are looking for other options, and if you are serious about looking after your wellness, well, we certainly do know that our gut health is really important. So,
but you think it's really interesting too, Kay, because when I was having all my health issues, And I started taking, supplements. I was getting really bad tinnitus and I was getting really bad brain fog, and I thought I had a brain tumor. And, so I was trying to seek something that would help me without, like a prescribed tablet, even though I was giving them two, but I was gaining weight, and it still wasn't, it was almost like it was like, just kind of like taking the top off it. And I started doing some supplements and stuff like that. And like ginkgo is really good for brain health. And I started feeling a little bit better, but it wasn't actually until I found the oils that actually this huge, big shift of, like it was like I was being sustained. Like it was like being cushioned. It was, like it, and it's
hard to explain. It's hard to
it is
find the words.
very, very hard to explain, and but it's almost like being cuddled, kind of
Yes, I
thing.
like
Yeah,
yes.
it's like being cuddled, and it sort of then gave my brain space to then look at other things, kind of thing. Like it was, because it's not just pick up an oil and I'm fixed. It's also you got to look at the whole, the way you're eating, the way you're sleeping. It's not just like a one thing can fix it. A pill can't fix it. An oil can't fix it. Like it's this whole. You got to basically regenerate your whole life, really.
Well, for me, it was the beginning of things like feeling excited,
Mm-hmm.
feeling
Yep.
or old feelings of, triggers. For me, that was very important
Mm-hmm.
because I was when I first discovered these beautiful oils, I was going through trauma in my own life.
Mm-hmm.
And there were some court cases I had to attend. So I would take my Valor so that when I went to, present in court to give my evidence, I was feeling so much calmer. And even before then, the lead up to court. So I would just simply roll some Valor on my wrists like this. And as all of us in Young Living, we just know I actually do this, and I always just put a little bit down the other side. I love these roller balls. They're fantastic. So that it just made me become stronger. It just gave me, it's almost like it gives you a foundation to birth from. And I couldn't just say, yes, this one oil did this or this one oil did that. It just helped you go through a bit of a process.
Mm-hmm.
So I know I've talked to quite a few people when they fall in love with these oils, and we know how life-changing they are. And you kind of say, what was it? And they, it's really hard to put that, to really pinpoint exactly the process they put us through, because I was finding things like something that triggered me one day, the next day I'd kind of, just, they would just float over me and around me. They just didn't touch me. So
Mm-hmm.
I found that for communication and for me being able to stay strong, it just kind of happened. But
And do you find, sorry, Kay, do you
you're right.
find that it also makes you or made you care about yourself more?
Oh, absolutely. I'm
Mm-hmm.
valuing me, and having the oils was, I suppose, after parenting 4 children single-handedly, and going through the ups and downs of all the trauma that came along with the, why I was parenting single-handedly. All those traumas had left me very scarred, and and also I didn't have much money. So I and my mind was focused on the children. So I guess I did do some workshops. I did quite a lot of workshops, but there was nothing really until I found these beautiful oils that really were gave me like a daily tool. And when you use them with your mindset or use them with intentions, I'm always talking about intentions. So if I'm putting on my valor, I would have that intention that I'm standing tall, I'm strong, I feel calm. So they've discovered that essential oils have a bit of an intelligence. And when we put, and we know more and more now that our intentions behind everything we do are very important. So it's been fantastic and a wonderful tool to have these oils. And yes, nourishing and nurturing myself. I never used to use any face products or anything like that. And people would say to me, God, Kay, you've got beautiful skin. Well, which I never really did much to have beautiful skin, apart from I have done my best along the way to live intentionally and live as naturally as I can, grow my own veggies and all that kind of thing. But now I'm nourishing and nurturing my skin with beautiful oils and our moisturizers and whatever we've got for our skin. You know, I've put on a beautiful liquid makeup base that is totally natural. And it's just fantastic. I don't even know it's on because I don't like things on my skin. So it's, you know, just so good to have found something that I always think, well, it ticked all my boxes of, you know, being organic, being sustainable, and genuinely not just greenwashed, because now I've learnt so much more. We've got to read the labels. And then these days well, you've got to read the labels, but you've got to realize what the additives are in it, or they might have relabeled things because people are becoming more aware, and they'll change the name, put something
Mm-hmm.
similar in and change the name. So it's taken me on a journey of looking after me and valuing me, and knowing that by looking after me, I'm being educated in ways to support other people. So it's helped me to step into my personal power and help me to come out in the world and do things like this, as it has for you. Would you say the same?
Absolutely. I would never have thought I'd be doing this, like, 6 months or so ago, like actually putting myself out there and wanting to share, my journey, and connect with people to, so they can share their journeys, and for like that support,
Oh,
support, and to
absolutely.
support people, and to say, well, hey, we'll try this. Like, what have you got to lose? Like, try. And
Mm.
it's not just like you get them, and it's not instant. Like, it's not sort of like, I mean, you will find you're uplifted, but it takes, a couple of months for them to actually really work, other than just in an emotional way. Like, it doesn't, it's not just sort of like a, well, I'm instantly feeling this way. Like, you will sort of like feel that, but it takes a, like, because I know a few people that they try it and then they go, it doesn't really do anything. Like, I enjoy it, I like the smell, but they don't actually, like, try it for long enough for it to have actually, like, gone in. What does it take? 3 months or something for something to infuse in your body? Is that?
So it takes 3 months for your blood chemistry to really change if you're
Yeah.
like with supplements and things like that.
Mm,
But it's interesting because, people, a lot of people like a lifestyle where they have their rituals or they have their things they want to do all the time. But so many of us put aside self-care. And really, we need to be looking at ourselves and going, how can I become the best version of me, which then flows on to, other people around you, your family. Or now, here's an instance. Yesterday, I was, and my grandchildren sometimes tease me, oh, Nana, you and your oils or whatever, but it's not
mm.
always that way. And yesterday we went traveling in the car, and my granddaughter said, oh, I feel sick. And I just said, well, here, and I gave, because I was driving, and her mum got out the Digees, and I said, yeah, put some of this on your tummy. Well, it was interesting because she didn't, she had a suit that she couldn't get in, like, wasn't easy to get to. She couldn't just lift her t-shirt up and get to her tummy. So I just handed her the Digees, and her mum said, well, here, just smell this and put a bit on your wrists. Now, I've never told anyone to do that if they're feeling sick. I usually just say, look, put some Digees on, it'll work a treat. Anyway, she just smelt it, put some on her wrists, and, you know, a couple of minutes later, we're saying, how are you feeling? She said, oh, I'm good. That oil fixed me. And it's just, I mean, that's magic, because we'd stopped a couple of minutes up the road before and she was looking white. She was looking, you know how you get that pasty yellowy color, and I felt terrible because we were, you know, it was only a half-hour drive, but I just thought, oh, the poor little thing. She's sitting in the back of the car. She's powerless in a sense because we're the one directing where she's going. She's in the back seat. We're on a mission. And, you know, instead of having to stop and let her go for a run on the beach or something like that, or in the bush, because we were out in the country, you know, we just gave her an oil, and within minutes, that situation was turned around. Now, I want to welcome, we've got a couple of lovely people who've jumped in, and Sue White, good morning. Welcome. Thanks for joining us. And the lovely Sarah. Can you find the comments? Can you see your lovely daughters here?
No, I'm just sort of like in StreamYard. I can't see the comments. I don't know how old.
She's saying, hi, Mama. So she's on her way home to get her bathers and go for a swim. So have a great time, Sarah.
Beautiful.
And we know Sarah is an avid oiler like both of us, and that's the beauty too, because you know, we're influencing our children. I just adore that. I bought my granddaughters the new makeup for Christmas, and I know that, you know, they often think I don't have the answers or something. Anyway, I thought, right, actually you promoted how good it was. And so I thought, right, Jess is promoting this. So I bought one for two of my grandchildren, and they're both using it and both loving it. And I've gone, fantastic, because that means they don't have to wear or use things that can be potentially harmful, those hormone disrupting chemicals that we know these days. More and more women are, you know, finding it hard to get pregnant. They're having problems with their periods, emotions running high. And if we don't keep these things in check, you know, that then turns into an unhappy mum, unhappy wife, unhappy person, and then that can turn into illness. It can turn into unhappy marriages, unhappy kids. You know, that all escalates. And Sarah's saying, so are the kids and the hubby. We love our oils. And that just makes my heart sing. How does that make you feel as Sarah's mum?
Oh, awesome. Like when I saw them in Coffs Harbour, and I took all my oils down, and, you know, so they were smelling ones I hadn't smelt before, and just seeing like how excited the kids were, you know, and their reactions to smelling different ones, and, you know, and they made up a little blend each, and just the excitement, and for Ben, like her partner, to be, you know, like he was at first sort of like, yeah, what are you doing? And now he's just sort of like, oh yeah, you know, which is absolutely wonderful.
Oh, yes. So I love it when men switch on, because a lot of women say, well, my husband's not interested and he doesn't like the smells and whatever their, you know, take is. And yet if you pull out something like Digees after a hangover or something, you know, when we've eaten something and it doesn't agree with us, and we pop on some Digees, and, you know, that can just all disappear in a flash. And that is just something like that. The men don't like being sick in general, and I'm generalizing here, please.
No, so, well, my partner's still sort of like a little bit on the fence with it, and I made him up an oil for his toes, because he gets that nail fungus. You know, his toes basically look black kind of thing, and and he buys the official one, and I made him up an oil. So he was putting the official one on his fingers and the one I made up on his toes, and he was kind of like, yeah, well, it's working. Yeah, it's pretty good actually.
I love it. We had a friend around a few weeks ago, and I actually ran into him last night, and he said he came and he was stressed. So that's something that we've got to do with our stress. But he came into our place and visited, and he had some scabs on his head and can't think a couple of other issues. And, we just grabbed some, made him up a little spray and put some animal scents on, I think. And I ran into him and his wife last night, and she came up and said, "Oh my God, my husband was in such a bad space when he came to visit you, and just visiting you two made a real big difference to him."
Mhm.
And he also said to me, "Oh my gosh, that stuff works, like it's all gone." So that
Mhm.
was fantastic. And, I love it because, and I often talk about this, people will ring me up and say, "Oh my God, it's like a miracle. This has happened and you won't believe
Mhm.
it." And I just quietly in my mind go, I'll believe it, because I get these stories all the time.
Mhm.
So
And when you've
yeah,
experienced yourself too, like it's not just like
yes,
you've experienced it yourself, you know what it's done for you, which is very hard to explain exactly what it's done. But when you start doing things like when you actually see visible changes, um, I think that's when really people take note, because anything internal and how you're feeling, and it's very hard to show what that's actually doing. But when you actually see physical changes, um, that's where it makes a difference. I've been doing the Ningxia challenge, and like I'm finding that absolutely amazing. Like I've lost a couple of kilos. I've like trimmed down a bit more. Um, and I'm feeling absolutely awesome.
yes,
You
fantastic.
know,
Yep.
it's
Well,
it's
and
it's like another level. Like each time you sort of like try something new, or try, like you get a new oil, um it's almost like you up level all the time. You keep going up and up, and I feel like I'm totally like rejuvenated, and like all this, this hope of um oh yeah, it's just this hope of it's more than just hope, because it's becoming a reality. Like you hope
yes,
you're going to start feeling better, you hope that you're going to start losing a bit of weight if you need to, you know you hope that you're going to want to start walking, and you hope, and to actually have that hope turn into a reality, and you see it start happening, and it's happening easily,
mm,
like you're not having to work at it or anything. Like I find now, even with my eating habits, that's all, like I'm doing the Ningxia, and it's sort of like gone into my fridge as well. Like we're
yes,
talking last time about you with your chocolates and me with the stuff,
yes,
and
yep,
and so we're basically like a bit more into this journey now, and I'm just wanting to keep going.
yes, fantastic. So that's
Mm.
a good segue. I've got my bottle of water here. This is a segue into, I want to talk to people about our Ningxia challenge that we are doing this month, and show you and talk to you about the recipe that we are using. So I'm not sure whether you're doing this or you're just drinking the Ningxia. What are you doing, Jess? Are you?
I'm doing. I actually put my bottle out in the full moon last night, so I've actually got like moon water there,
Oh,
in
nice.
there, in there as well, just to give that little extra. And
Oh,
I actually even set my alarm for 5 o'clock this morning, because someone had said that once the sun hits it, it's no longer moon water anymore.
oh, well, it would be moon and sun water though, wouldn't it?
Yes, yes, but
Okay.
apparently it changes the vibrations. Like we talk about vibrations, and
Yes.
I don't know whether it's true, but I like to put my crystals out under the full moon, and people talk about you know, like moon water. So yes, I put my bottle out in the moon, and I set my alarm for 5 o'clock this morning. So because sunrise was 5:26 this morning, so I set my alarm for 5 o'clock this morning so I could go and bring it in, and I'm rather enjoying it. So yes, I'm doing it the same as you.
That is so cute. I love that. Now, when I was living in Melbourne, we used to put when we're drinking chlorinated water and all those kind of things, we would stand our water out the opposite to what you're saying. We would stand it out during the day in a bottle like this and have the lid off. So if anyone's living in the city, and I know when I go to the kids' place, I kind of go, you are drinking swimming pools here to me, because I'm not used to smell or taste. So as we know, chlorine evaporates out in the sun.
Mm-hmm.
So you put your water outside in the sunshine and taste the difference. It's fantastic. So, yeah. So now this Ningxia Red that we are talking about is full of nutrition. It is called a superfood. And I've read some of the, we have a book. I've got a book that Gary Young put out. I think it was Gary. Yes. He put out on Ningxia Wolfberry. The ultimate superfood, he calls it. So this is full of beautiful, beautiful supplement, beautiful nutrition, and high in antioxidants. And it is just a great all-round boost for your energy, for your health and well-being. So with Young Living this month in February, we many of us have joined the Ningxia Challenge. So I'm going to talk you through what we are doing in our Ningxia Challenge. So you get your full bottles of Ningxia, or you can get the sachets. Some people buying a 30-box sachet for the month. And this, in the sachets that I'm talking about, there's 60 mils in here. So basically you're using one of these every day of the week. But you're dividing it in half. But I'm not going to use a sachet today. I'm going to use some out of my drink bottle, and I'm just going to pop 30 mils in the top, or my guesstimate. I sometimes am a bit heavy-handed, and
that's okay. You can have a bit more.
Yeah, no, you can have
to taste,
So yeah, absolutely. Now I also have some sulfazyme capsules with me here. Now on the front it says, for the temporary relief from the pain of osteoarthritis. Now, I know so many people who could benefit from this. It's called sulfazyme. And sulfazyme, so in this we have MSM, and I can't remember the full name of MSM, but it is like a wonderful thing for our body. It has the wolfberry, which is in our drink, and it has some copaiba oil. Now, Young Living is like very interesting company, because they discovered that using oils in your supplements helped your body to absorb them at 30% higher rate. Now, I love the idea that there's some copaiba in here as well. So what I do is I open the capsules and I pop the ingredients of my capsules into my drink. And this is my morning ritual these days. I make up 4 bottles so that I've got plenty on hand, and I'm ahead of the game then. So I just simply open those up, and then I can reuse those capsules for lots of other good things. And put that into your drink with the 750 ml of water. And then to spice it up even more and get some beautiful bioflans, you can drop some 3 or 4 drops of some lime oil in the bottle. And then, oh, have I got my lid? Oh, yes, I'll use this lid. And then you just simply put the lid on it and shake it. And then, hey, presto. And you make 2 of these. So when you use this, if you're using sachets, you can do 2 bottles at once. Because if you're anything like me, that's it. I've made it for the day and it's there. It's just grab and go. So we often you will see me drinking straight out of the bottle quite often. And I discovered how much this supported my energy levels. When I was teaching, I discovered that you'd come home exhausted, comatose on the couch, and life was not that great because you just went to work and came home again. And your work, your energy and lifestyle beyond work was so compromised because I was totally exhausted. So
Now,
these,
have you mixed it like that all this time, Kay, or is this the first time you've done it with the water and the lime juice?
yeah, good question. No, I haven't. So what I've done before is put it in a glass and just drunk a glass. Like I might put a whole sachet or a whole 60 ml in a glass and have it in one, just in one go in the morning. And when that glass is gone, that's done. If I need another one in the afternoon, I'd make up another glass. However, with this system, it's there all day, and then you can keep, refreshing your
Yeah, I really like it this way too, because I struggle to drink water,
yes,
especially when
yes,
it's not hot. I'm finding I'm hydrating my body so much more too. And with the
yes.
lime, like I actually had one of the shot glasses, and I had the Ningxia in a shot glass, and I put a drop of lime in there. Oh man, that was so good. Like,
Oh, yes,
straight, it
yes.
was so, like, the lime just made it really pop, and you just got this burst of lime in your mouth. But yeah, doing it this way is making me drink more, like more water.
Absolutely. Now I'm finding that I'm losing weight. I'm finding that my energy levels are more even throughout the day as well. And I don't know. I don't know what life would be like without my Ningxia or my oils. It has just been such a godsend. Yeah, I love this idea of and it's great for recycling the bottles as well. So
And they're such a pretty bottle.
yes,
Mm,
absolutely.
mm.
Some people get a glass cutter and cut. You know how you cut the top off bottles and turn them into glasses to drink.
Oh,
So I've seen that done as well.
I
Or
like
some
that
people
idea.
put Christmas lights in them, and also those lovely creative people.
They do
So
amazing things.
yes. So all right, now what's in our Ningxia Red? Our Ningxia Red has blueberry, Ariona berry, plum, cherry, and pomegranate. So
Wolfberry.
not wolfberry. So hang on, let me read it again. It has wolfberry, plum, blueberry, plum, cherry. Yes, it does have cherry and pomegranate in it. Now it has also has some essential oils in it to give you that extra zing. So it has, let me see where it says this. I know it has Yutsu. It's quite a long label here. So has grapeseed extract, vanilla extract. And I can't actually see. I know it's got Yutsu, it might have orange and lemon, but it doesn't have lime in it.
Tangerine. I know it's got
Tangerine.
tangerine oil in it.
Yes,
Mm,
that's right.
mm,
So, fantastic drink. But if you are making it up in a glass, you've got to make sure you stir it up so the oils get infused through the water, because we know that the oil floats on water. And if you don't stir it, you might take a swig and those concentrated oils will be just floating on the top. So that's another reason why I love this idea of having it in a glass bottle, because you can shake it up and mix it all through as well.
mhm.
So do you have any other supplements that you like with Young Living? Is there anything else? Because I know you've really turned things around and you've been looking into the supplements more. Is there
Yeah, well,
anything?
I'm really liking the Illuminize because my eyesight was going
Yes.
a bit, and I don't know what that was due to, but my eyesight just about 6 months ago, my eyesight really started deteriorating,
Okay.
and so I got the Illuminize, and that's really been helping
Made a
me.
difference? So
Mm.
when I was at a Young Living convention a couple of years ago, and they brought the Illuminize out as a new product, so I learnt quite a lot about it then. And so the Illuminize has a lot of Ningxia berry in it, which is what we've got in this beautiful drink. And there's something in the Ningxia berry. It's a long name. I can't remember it, but it supports your eye health. There's
Mhm.
xanthemum or something. I can't remember now. But it is, so they've bought the Illuminize out because so many of us are sitting in front of screens, our phones. It's become a way of life, and we're all aware of that, and we're aware of, the issue about our eyes.
Mm.
So my story is that I actually have got one contact lens in. I've worn them since I was about 13, and actually I've got a bit of an issue. One works long distance better and the other one works short distance better. So I correct that with, I could wear two contact lenses, but I'm persevering with just wearing one because I can actually read without glasses, but they told me I needed a prescription. So my eyes, since I've been with Young Living, have not altered very much whatsoever. And I know there might be slight variations. Sometimes something's got better or the other one has. So for me, I'm very proactive about looking after my eye health. I know there's glaucoma in my family, and I believe that it is a good idea to look after your health so that you don't go down that track of repeating those genetic, family traits. And anything we can do, like, it just makes sense, doesn't it? If we're looking after our body, it's prepared for what's.
Absolutely. And I've actually started looking into a bit more than that. And I'm starting this regime of there's certain things that you aren't allowed to eat at the moment, and it's called Eat Like a Human. And
Oh,
and it's very, very interesting. And on the do not eat list, which was really, really interesting, is beans, pulses, legumes, and chickpeas, because apparently when you eat them, if you don't have enough like calcium and stuff in your body, it actually starts leaching minerals out of your bones and your teeth to actually help digest these foods because they're very heavy.
that's
Mm.
interesting.
So that
Okay.
was very interesting. Like I can, I don't have all the information on that. Like it's in here somewhere.
Yes.
But I don't think we have enough time for all of that anyway. But yeah, so beans, pulses, legumes, and chickpeas aren't very easily digested in our body, and most of them actually just get passed out and don't get absorbed in your body. So it's like, and then there's grains, all types, including flour, high oxalates, spinach, kale, chard, beets, ect, which they're the same. Like they don't bind, and our body just it actually puts toxins in our body, which is funny because the health people advocate for us to eat them, but
It's
apparently they're so it's going to be interesting. So seed oils, canola, sunflower, safflower, grapeseed, margarine, ect, processed or replacement sugars, and alcohol. So they're all do not eat in the no eating. And
okay.
then it's a limit, so limited caffeine, honey, and pure grade A maple syrup, almonds, Brazil nuts, and tree nuts, seafood to once a week, alternative milk, no gums, lectins, and oils. So you can have like your almond milk, but still limited amount of that.
Okay.
So the go ahead is fruits until lunch, because that will
Mhm.
feed our brain. Snacks from the snack list, and that's like 2 to 4 pieces of fruit. Like you start off with a piece of fruit, and then you have a smoothie bowl, so more fruit and vegetables like your carrots and stuff. So you sort of almost have like 2 breakfasts. So you start off
Yes.
with having a piece of fruit, and then you have your smoothie bowl. Um, Snacks from the snack list, which include the fruits, you can have 2 quarter cups of nuts a day, or like a trail mix. Meat, vegetables, eggs, and seeds in whole form culinary herbs. So I've only been on it for a day, so like
We watch this space. We will get back.
another watch this space.
Yeah.
I've lost a couple of kilos since last time you've seen me.
Okay.
And I'm very happy about that, because I do believe that a slow loss is better than a big loss. But yeah, I really like, because I've got so many, like I like beans and pulses and stuff like that, but they do give me a bit of a funny stomach. So that's really interesting to, so it's basically almost like a paleo diet. I think that's the
Okay.
best way to explain it. It's like going
Okay.
paleo kind of thing. So
That's, I think that's interesting, because it gets confusing, and we get different advice from different people. I was fairly close to being vegetarian 12 years ago, eating meat occasionally, and went to an alternative dentist to get the last of my mercury fillings out, and to have a root canal dealt with. And there was a dietitian attached to that dentistry up at Redcliffe. It is actually not that far from you, Jess. And he said to me, "Oh my God, you're one of the healthiest people who've walked in the door," which was great. It was actually in the early days of my Young Living journey. And they put me on a diet of high fats. And I went, I'm thinking, oh my gosh, meat 3 times a day. Are you serious? But I thought, well, I better do what I'm told. So I kind of did stick to that for a long time, because what they say is that all your heavy metals attach themselves to the fats in your body, and that's how they get eliminated. So I'm not a diet expert, but you've got to work out what works for you. And sometimes it's trial and error. Now, since I've been with Young Living, I was consumed with the oils for quite a bit of time, only just the oils, and then I actually had a knee that had been playing up, and I had supported with some other supplements and nutriments, and I thought, oh well, I'm buying these. Maybe I need to look at what Young Living has got. I had read so many stories of people who'd avoided surgery and all sorts of things with our oils and our supplements. So, and I had what I called a dicky knee. So I started using the supplements, and that knee came good. I don't have to wear my magnet bandage over it anymore. I no longer have to protect it in the way that I used to. I can walk up and downstairs was the one that gave me most of the problems, that weight as you're going down the stairs. So, it really turned my life around, and, supported my ability to be more flexible. So I take BLM. I've taken sulfazyme now for about, well, what are we coming up to 223? Must be 13 years now. I think I've been with Young Living, or 12. So, I know that I'm looking after myself now, and it gave me, because of the results I was getting, that's what sparked me to go and share these beautiful oils with other people. And it's
exactly like, as you're saying, like that's your own testimony, not what someone else has said. Like, that's like, I need a hip replacement, it's bone on bone, and I'm finding it's like I'm not feeling like I need one anymore.
Oh, that's great. That's fantastic. Well, isn't that wonderful? So I've heard lots of stories of people who are in that sort of a situation, and they've managed to get away with no hip replacement because they've been looking after themselves. So it just makes sense, doesn't it, really, when you think about it? If our bodies, when we know that our cells in our body rejuvenate, some people say every 7 years. So if we are putting nourishment and good intentions into the cells in our body, it transfers into energetically. That is what happens. rather than the doom and gloom. And, and I often talk to people and suggest maybe they could trial some of these supplements. And, a lot of people do, and they turn life around, and a lot of people just can't get their head around that. And I've been in the oils long enough to watch so many people around me who have been experiencing health issues, and those issues have just become more acute over time. And yet it's just such a delight when I come across people like you who have gone, okay, is there another way? Can I rebuild my body? Can I replace this with this? Can I do something that's not going to have, those potential side effects and things like that? So it is such a refreshing thing to be also in amongst a community where we're all on a similar page in that regard, and we can share our stories and support each other and open the door for others to make life what they want.
Exactly, because it's really confusing because there's just so many products out there. Like there's so many products. You go into, like a health food store or a chemist, and you're looking for, something for osteo or something like that. And there's just so many products and so many different prices, and I get really confused. And I sort of sit there and I go, I don't know, like what do I get? And and you sort of like get something and you sort of try it and doesn't really make any difference, or a lot of them actually make me feel sick. Like I'll take them and I'll start feeling sick, which I think there's some filler in there or something in there that my body's just going nope. And so then I would go a year or so without trying anything, because I'll be like, well, I've tried that and that's not working, so then I won't really do anything. And then I got to the stage where I don't really trust a lot of what's in a lot of things. And to find something that's got that seed to seal quality, that guarantee, and you can tell the difference. Like it doesn't, I take them and I want to take them because I see the difference that it's making, and they're not making me feel sick.
Yes.
Which is really, really important. Whereas, you can go and, when you go to the camp, they oh yeah, well, the people say about this one, but they don't really know the product.
They're only told what their reps have given them. My mother she worked for a pharmaceutical company, for a chemist, and her boss became quite a good friend of ours. But he eventually wrote a book and declared in that book, some of what the information he had learnt about, these things. So
that's very interesting, isn't it?
Yes. And he'd worked in that field all his life. So, and in the book it said, years ago when they started working with prescriptions and whatever, they were more pure, whereas over time they've become synthetic. They've become, they've been altered. Things are taken out, and as you know, even with our oils, Jess, like with Young Living, our oils are 100% pure. Nothing's taken out. Nothing's added, and I
they're
discovered
grown without pesticides. They're grown with organic matter, not artificial fertilizers and stuff. They've been grown how they're supposed to be grown with nature,
which then makes the vibration of these oils so beautiful, beautifully in harmony with our body. So if you're going to have something that comes from a laboratory where they've been synthetically created, that's not going to be in harmony with our body. Essential oils are the blood of the plant, and interestingly, Creator, designed things for us that our plants were for our healing, and they are to work with our bodies. And I think that is just amazing. And to know that when we use essential oils, that our body is going to actually enjoy them and absorb that beautiful energy. And the cells, this is what I think happens. The cells in your body start coming alive. They start dancing. They start working in harmony, and they start working together.
Absolutely. And I found at the moment, like the ones that I was using a lot of, like I was using a lot of thyme, I was using a lot of frankincense. I can't remember which, but anyway, there was ones that I was using quite a lot of every day. Every day when I went to bed, when I woke up, these oils would go on. And I've hit a spot where I think that they've done what they've needed to do. And I'm finding, and I like, this is like after starting the Ninja Challenge, actually, like about a week ago, I went to use one of the ones I usually use, and it was
Yes.
like, hang on, no, stop. And so I started using a different oil. So I started using some basil, and I started using some marjoram instead of the thyme, alami instead of the
Yes.
frankincense, sort of thing. So it was almost like my body was sort of like going, yeah, I think I've had enough of that, you know.
Mm,
And
mm.
Melrose, like I was using Melrose and myrtle,
Okay.
you know,
Yes.
because I sort of like put my, like, I've got all my oils here, and I just sort of like, oh, okay, what today? And it's like my body picks, or I smell it and my, yeah, no, yeah, no.
Yep.
But it was really interesting how it was sort of like I went to, and it was like, no,
Mm.
something else, and that happens, doesn't it? Is your body,
Yes.
it sort of it's like it's filled with that, and it sort of says, okay, you don't need any more of that now.
Yes. And Gary always said to mix things up, to change things, or even to take a break, even with your supplements. Every now and again, give your body a day off, a
Mm-hmm.
day or two off taking supplements. So, then it can reset without them, or I don't really understand the whole reasoning around that. But, I trust a lot of what Gary said, because he did a lot of research, and he, I mean, the lives that have been changed through Gary Young and our company, the company he grew, because he wanted people to have access to oils of the caliber that we have with Young Living, with our seed to seal. And I remember him talking about, the amount of essential oils that are being used in the world at the moment. And he put this big graph on the board. And I remember this little circle representing how many people are using essential oils now, compared to this huge circle that he had on this graph for us to see. And by the year 2025, his belief was it was going to expand by probably 10 times more. And I can see that there are a lot of people who are saying, this isn't working for me. What can I do? Where can I go? What's another option? And it's just so good for those of us who have found Young Living, because we are walking examples of the potential that these beautiful products have.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And if you're watching this, and you're thinking, no, this isn't for me, or you're despondent, or you don't know where to go, or you just like, everything's just too hard, just change one little thing. Just one little thing,
Yes.
reach
Yes.
out, even just connect for a bit of support. And you might feel, okay, I'm going to give this a go, I'm going to try it out, but just change one little thing, just start moving a little bit more. If you're sitting there, watching telly, just start moving your arms and legs a little bit more. Just try to charge up one little thing in your life. just to make one little change. And then slowly you'll find when you keep doing that, you might more little changes to happen. And then you might sit there and go, like I did, I'm really lost here. My health is going downhill. I'm 52 going on 80. So I've got all this rest of my life to live, but I'm this 80-year-old person in this body, and my brain is going, I want to do stuff, I want to do more, but I'm too sore, I'm too depressed, I'm too despondent. And it's like, I do not want my life to be like this. I don't want this to be the rest of my life. So what am I going to do to actually change it and make it better? And seriously, the oils have been a full-on game changer in so many different ways. But, you know, just change one little thing. Just go, is this what I want? I want to renew my life. I want to recharge. And how do I go about doing that? Little steps and stuff. Little steps. You don't need to throw yourself right in. Just small steps.
Just absolutely. Now, on that note, just before we go, anyone who has not tried our Ningxia, if you are listening to this and if you are interested in trialing some, because people often look at it and say, oh my God, that looks, you know, dark red. People who are maybe not necessarily being so adventurous into what they eat, they look at the color and they go, oh, yuck. And I'll say, just try a little bit. And when they'll have a little mouthful and they go, oh my gosh, that is beautiful. So will post you one of these in a sachet to Australian people only. Sorry, because it's too hard to get these all around the world. But people around the world can start accessing these. But for me to post you a freebie, if you are in Australia, reach out, send me, go to my website, kayhamilton.com. or come and send me an email and say, look, I want to have a chat with you. Or actually, there's a link there where you can have a complimentary conversation with me. And or come and join our group on Facebook. It's called Kay's Essential Oil Wisdom. And we have a community of people, and we get together in there and we talk about oils, or that's kind of how I communicate with all the people in our community. So you would be more than welcome to come and join us over there.
In our little oil community.
Oh, yes, oil community. I like that.
That's what I call it, oil community.
Yep, excellent. So, Jess, thanks for coming on. And if you have enjoyed watching us, please do follow us. Jess is going to be coming on regularly with me, as well as beautiful Bridget, our astrologer, and Anne from the USA, talking about the codes of the journey. And we're always giving you good information and hoping to encourage you to do what you need to do, one step at a time, to turn your health and vitality around so that you too can feel rejuvenated and reset, so that you don't have to be 52 in an 80-year-old body. So
exactly. With a like 18-year-old brain.
Yes. Oh, yes. Well, brain fog's another one. So okay. So thank you everyone for joining and interacting in the comments. I will look forward to seeing you on our next uplifting conversation. So it's bye from my heart to yours. And do you have
mine to yours? Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.
Mwah.